Fundy Fortunes. My name is Natalie. I'm an empath and intuitive card reader, and I'm here this evening to do the general monthly reading for the sign of Virgo for February 2017. Get myself situated here. All the regulars that are here all the time viewing the video, you're going to notice new camera. And on my end, everything's backwards. Not to you guys, but it is to me. So, high def everything all the way around. High def sound, video, picture quality. So, if somebody says, I can't hear you, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. On my end, doing the best I can. Oh, it's 12 bells, people. There. Okay, so I'm going to put up a. This is the last. This is the very last of the smudge. This is the sweet grass. This is the very end of it. You guys get to have it. I don't have a drop left. I'll have to go on the hunt for some other things to burn in the smudge. I've already smudged the cards earlier. I think that's enough for now. This is for you guys. Clear out all your energies. Calm and cool the vibrations. Alright. Just set that over there. The air will clear in a bit. Let's get right into the reading. Remember, people, my friends, my beautiful Virgos, this is a general reading. What that means is it may or may not resonate with you on a personal, individual level, because it's not an individual reading. And if you find, that you want to make it just for you, that would require a private reading with me. Information for that is found below in the description and more area. Please read through that once, and then you can just send me off an email, and we'll take it from there. So, some of you come back and you leave comments. I love comments. I respond to everybody. And some people say, well, that didn't mean anything. That didn't make sense. And this isn't going to make sense. If it doesn't make sense, then it's not for you. Whatever that message is. These are general readings. There's thousands of you watching this. If I think about that too long, I'll get stage fright. It's funny. And we want some good messages for the sign of Virgo. Such nice people. I've known quite a few Virgos in my lifetime. I know somebody's going to message and go, well, I knew a Virgo and it was the worst person I have. My experience has always been, they've been really good people. They're decent people. Hardworking. A little on the nervous side sometimes. Shy sometimes. Very easy to get along with. Very studious. Very fastidious. Very fussy. Everything has to be in order and in its place. A lot of people are like that, but Virgos are really like that. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a character trait, as they say. Virgos are good people, hard workers, usually pretty successful. They can take care of their own, stand on their own 2 feet. Virgo for February 2017. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is a 5-card spread using the Oceanic Tarot deck for those that are new. Written by Jane Wallace, illustrator Jane Delaware Taylor. At the very end of this 5-card spread, I put one significator from my other deck of tarot for the overall. If anything doesn't show up in the 5 cards that needs to be brought to the forefront, that card that comes out of there will show it. Anything that's already been drawn here in relation to it, there's a connection. It's reinforcing the meaning of what said card. Virgo, 2017, February. General reading right there. And we are ready to go. That's it right there. Get my glasses. my spectacles, my reading spectacles. The very first card. Oh, I haven't seen you guys in a while. The overall energy of your reading is the Lovers. You can see some body language going on there. Okay. Second card tarot is brought to your attention. The Page of Swords. It's about gossip. And this is in your financial and your wealth sector. Gossip. Third card, your hearth, your home, your love, anything to do with your heart. Nine of Wands, it's about defense. I had this card earlier. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Hanged Man show up. He's been in every reading. I'm going to find out here. 2 more cards to go. The Five of Cups, sadness. This is in your challenges for February. I was hoping for a better reading than this. In Judgment, self-reflection. Here's your message from Spirit. All right. Okay, very first card for you, Virgo, for February 2017, the Lovers. It's all about choices. Okay, so somebody out there has reached a turning point, and they know they have to make a decision in a relationship one way or the other. It must be made. Some of you are looking to invest for your future. Invest in your home or maybe a job, or something is job related. Decisions. In relationships, let me get my book out on this one. Overall energy is just Lovers. That's a major arcana as well. It emphasizes the meaning of the card even more so. Oh, my lovers. Where are you, me lovers? Come along. Oh, for heaven's sake, where are you? There we go. So the advice of this card is to make your choices based on your long-term future rather than the short-term gains in love. Wait for the right person rather than distract yourself with flirtations. There's a mature decision to make as you reach a turning point. You may need to make an investment in the future, a financial plan, buying a home, or moving for work, just for an example. And the choice isn't straightforward in relationships either. In relationships, bonds and you either need to do one of 3 things. You need to bond and commit, or walk away. An additional meaning of the card for those who are single is being ready for a new serious relationship, and love is coming. This is for singles. Your keywords for this card are love, commitment, future plans, maturity, decisions, dedication, emotions, and for some, separation. So when you look at the card itself, if you look at the body language, he's got a good hold on her. Both arms, I would take it, and both hands are holding her. And he's trying to look into her face. She has her face turned away, like this. Only one hand on his back, and the other hand is almost like she's trying to push off of him, but he's holding her. That is what is shown in the card. He's trying to reason. and she's saying, let me go. And it's like this kind of, you need to listen. Just listen to me, please. And she's like, I need to leave. I want to go. He's got her held there, trying to reason, and she's done. Obviously, kind of a heartbreak of a card, eh? So somebody out there, this is strong. This is your overall energy. There are big decisions to be made, and mostly in love and relationships. Do you take it to the next level? Do you make it more permanent? Some of you have this weighing on your mind because for some of you, especially as Virgos, when you commit, you don't do this lightly. When you commit, it's for long term. You are serious, taking vows, making promises and assurances to other people. This is a huge commitment from you. You don't make it lightly at all. And the other thing is, yes, don't look at the bigger picture, especially where relationships are concerned right now. Look at the bigger picture of where you want to be with this person. Try to imagine yourself 5 years down the road after cohabitating under one roof together. Will the love grow and deepen? Will your bond grow and deepen? Or will something else take place over time? You really have to look hard at commitments right now. But for those of you that are single, woohoo, somebody's coming into the picture. Next card, second card, that tarot has brought to your attention, Virgo. Page of Swords, and it represents gossip. People sometimes can't mind their own P's and Q's, and I don't mean you, Virgo, but I mean more or less people sticking their nose into your personal business. How much money do you make a year? Did you pay a lot for that car? Was it new? Just things that people shouldn't be asking you. They really shouldn't. It's rude. You know, they say there's 3 things and subjects that people should never discuss. And finances is one of them, and your personal finances. The other one is religion and politics. People shouldn't discuss these things. That's the old school way anyway. Maybe today, people would say that's not so anymore. But there is this feeling of invasion and intrusion when people try to push their way into your financial situation. But for you right now, Virgo, the card's here to tell you to be clear in your communications. This way you avoid any misunderstandings. There's a slight chance of that right now. So you have to be extra diligent and extra careful. Your key words for this card are complaints and bitchiness, backstabbing, cutting words, politicating, legal issues, and paperwork. The advice of this card overall is to be clear and precise in any verbal communications that you may have going on right now. You don't want to be misunderstood. There's a young man who's going to be delivering some legal papers to somebody. For some, it could be contracts. For others, it could be like your local sheriff's office delivering divorce papers to you. This kind of thing. Yeah, somebody's being verbally talked about. And they are being bitchy about it. You can feel that coming right off the card. Undeserving as well, Virgo. You don't deserve to be treated that way, talked about that way. People don't know your personal business per se. It's none of their business. Hurt feelings lead to mistrust. And for the rest of you, like they're not the rest, but some of you, others, um, are looking at long-term relationships. Some of you are looking to break away, actually. It's not going the way you thought it was going to go. It's just that simple. Disappointment, heartache, bittersweet. Which, in the end, when couples separate, it changes your financial aspects as well. One more moment here. The division of property. This is where your communications need to stand loud and clear. No misunderstandings. There's no room for error here. You need to be clear and precise. Go over all contracts with a fine-tooth comb and a critical eye, looking for things that could be wrong. Strange card and strange place. Third card, your hearth, your home, your love, your romances, family love, children love, friendship. Defense, 9 of Wands. Wands are all about practical things. Somebody's feeling very, very defensive. Here's my book since I've got it handy. This card, and it falls like in your most personal aspects of your life, usually relationships with other people. The 9 sees you exerting yourself to the full, protecting your job, your property, or otherwise defending your actions. You may have made sacrifices in the past and feel that you need to justify these by staying put. You may have staying put in the way of making the decision to stay and not leave, for some in relationships in that way. After all you've invested, for some of you have invested a lot into the relationship, more than the norm. You've even made sacrifices for this relationship. And in order to prove that you have the courage of your convictions and that every move you've made in the past, leading up to now, was intentional and you believed was right and true. And in order to prove that to people, you can't just pick up and go. But part of you wants to pick up and go. But some of you could be holding on, and you need to ask yourself this: why are the reasons that I'm going to stay or I'm going to go? Why? What are the reasons? Why do I want to leave? And you need to ask yourself these questions and be very, very honest with yourself. If you want to save yourself years of the same old, you know, same old is fine for some people. For other people it's not. Some people don't adapt well to change, so the ins and outs of daily life, the repetitiveness, the predictability of your days and your nights. For some people, they take comfort in that because it's predictable and it's safe and it's knowing. It's not unknown. It's not strange. It's not fearful. So some of you may be holding on to some fear and you're just holding too tight to it and you're almost blinded by it. And you're so vigilant over protecting what is yours, your job, your home, your relationships. Almost to the point, somebody out there is almost to the point of paranoia about everything around them, waiting for the other boot to drop. Some of you, it's things are going quite well, but there's this paranoia in the back of your mind, this little niggling. How long could this last? Nothing feels right unless everything's wrong in my life. But right now, everything is so right now, and is karma saving it up for me so that when something bad happens, it'll be really, really bad to counterbalance all this wonderful stuff that's going on in my life right now. I'm not used to this. So there's a bit of a paranoia there. And some of you were holding on to that maybe just a little too long. And you're finding too, and if you don't, you should find it, being that way is extremely exhausting, terribly exhausting, and becomes more of a habit rather than a free choice after a while, because this is the way I've always done things. You need to break free, free up some mind space, and add some color to your world. Your keywords for this card are determination, challenges, sacrifices, hard work, protection, rigidity, and fear. Yeah. So the fourth card is the Five of Cups. It's about sadness, and this card brings forth your challenges. Sorry guys, I can't get used to this. It brings up your challenges for February 2017. Sadness. Okay. What am I doing here? Starting to lean on the book. Keywords for this are unhappiness and dejection and negative thoughts, confusion, disruption. Some of you are even have a fear of abandonment as well. Abandonment. The advice of the card, Virgo, is to look for and accept any support that you may find. There is support out there, but you have to initiate the search for it. And you need to hear it from tarot that this situation is not as hopeless as you think it is. And you won't always feel this way. For those of you that are hurting units right now, you won't always feel this way. As the seconds tick by, the hours go by, the days fly by, and for some they'll drag because of a huge change in your life. You won't always feel this overwhelmed. You won't always feel this disconnected from reality, because it seems surreal to some of you. That's a bad shock. That's a bad hurt. When life doesn't, you're looking around, you're going, nothing feels real to me. None of this feels real. This has to be a nightmare, just a bad dream. And some of you are having a hard time grappling on. You've been devastated. Not going to say time's going to make it better, because it doesn't. It's just that you'll get stronger. You'll get better at dealing with the pain and the shock. I don't know how this is coming through, but some of you are going to go through that. I'm trying to hear what this is. Such a devastating point. I don't know what's going on the last two spreads I've done here. They've not been all lollipops and unicorns, as some a viewer had said once, and this certainly isn't. I see two people going through this. Two of you Virgos are going through a big shift in your life, and where this is going to take you is unbeknownst to you right now. Where you're going to end up after you've gone through this trial, this heartbreaking, devastating trial. Where you end up is the furthest thing from your mind down the road. And if this hadn't happened, you wouldn't be where you're going to find yourself. And it's not a bad place. It's a good place. It's just different. It's just different than what you're used to. But it's a good place. It's a very strange card. Some of you, this will be the change of a friendship. For a very small few of you. Two. Out of everybody watching this, it will be bereavement. I'm sorry to say. It's a Five of Cups. It's never a good card at all. I don't like this card. because it's usually pretty strong. It overwhelms me. This card can represent emotionally the lowest part in your experience in your life. Some of you have never felt this pain before. Some of you have never gone through anything like this before. This kind of a shock. There's going to be humongous growth going on here. Lessons learned. For some of you, feeling like you can't go on, but you will. And you will hold on. This is usually an unexpected happening as well. A break from a person, a job, leaving you bereft and confused. As I said, when people separate, it affects your financial sector. Big time on both ends. Another meaning of this card could be somebody that's unable to let go of the past and being haunted by guilt or regret. The advice of the card is to look for and accept any support that you can drum up. The situation is not hopeless, and you will heal from this. Keywords are unhappiness, dejection, negative thoughts, confusion, hurt, disruption, and abandonment. So that's come up there. I've seen it twice now. Somebody's going to be left abandoned. It's going to be devastating. This could be a blessing in disguise in the bigger picture, but you won't realize it till down the road a ways. Let's get off of that. Your message from Spirit is judgment. It's about self-reflection. There's a lot of that going on right now. Self-reflection for a lot of people. The card shows up to tell you it's time to revisit your past and take stock before moving on. That is overflowing and overlapping, connecting to this. You take stock before moving on. Happier memories can sting right now, and you're going to be having them. They're going to be very bittersweet. Good memories, but brokenhearted, knowing that they'll never be again. Some of you are going to have unfinished business that needs tending to as well. And you need to tie up loose ends. And some of you may wander back into your past to find some people from before, to ask some background questions, to find answers to questions that you have now. Things that you've been questioning for a long time, and you know the people that have the answers, but you were always afraid to ask up to this point, and now you need to know. You just need to know, and you can't move on until you do. Some of you are going to be wondering, you're going to be thinking back, and you're going, did I do the right thing? Did I do what was best for me and for them? And feeling a little bit of guilt and regret over some things that you may have said or done that put a twist on the whole situation. Another meaning of this card can be said of spiritual connections. Some of you are being linked in spirit and to spirit guides as well, and angels and loved ones that have passed on before. There's a connection there. For some of you, you're reconnecting, especially with those that have passed on before. You find yourself thinking about them a lot, wishing they were here. You need somebody to talk to, and they were always your go-to person. And you have never, ever got over the feeling of loss because they're not here. But you must have faith and believe they can hear you. And if you listen very quietly, you can hear them as well. You have to stop being so hard on yourself. The card says so. Somebody's going to be looking into the past as well, and maybe thinking about giving somebody else a second chance. Maybe you were too hasty to end the relationship. And you'll be going and thinking, oh, now that some time has gone by, now I have something to compare that to. And what I thought was so bad and why I walked away and broke that relationship is I thought I could do way better than this. And some of you have gone through several relationships since, and they've not even begun to measure up to the one that you walked away from before. This is an eye-opening moment for you, Virgo. Very humbling. I'm not picking up much else than that. Life lessons learned. For some of you, pivotal moments that are going to change. You may look the same on the outside. You may live in the same house. You may have the same job, but you're not going to be the same person anymore. Something has turned in you, rolled over in you, turned inside out, outside in. This will be a moment in your life that you'll never forget, good or bad, either way. Spirituality is heightened, judgment is heightened, self-judgment, guilt, second chances, and memories. All right, Virgo, let's do your significator. These readings today are far out there. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm not doing anything any differently. It's not weather interference. The readings are, the last few, they've been kind of subdued, if you know what I mean, but deep. Deep. Subdued, but deep. Not as in your face as they usually are. Understated messages. It's almost like the cards are trying to be kind, which is just that's what I'm hearing. The cards are being kind. They don't want to be abrupt. They don't want to be loud. They're trying to be kind. It's interesting. It really is. Spirits, I should say. The spirits are. Everything happens for a reason. Most times when things start happening, we're like innocent children that are lost and confused. And we say, why? Why? Especially for the person that's going to have the rug pulled from under their feet, so to speak. If somebody out there doesn't see this coming, and the shock is going to be devastating. Just devastating. It's heartbreaking. You didn't deserve it, Virgo. You didn't deserve it. But you know what? It's one of those situations that just is what it is. Thing is, you didn't see this coming. Maybe you did, and you put your head in the sand. And maybe you never asked yourself, how long can we live this way? Well, I know people have worse relationships than I do, so I don't see the problem in staying and just waiting through it. For some people, that's not the best thing. Right there. All right. Here's your significator, Virgo. Let's see what else is coming up. The Five of Swords. And swords always represent what's going on in the mind, where your thought processes are, decisions that need to be made. So we're back to that again. I might pull my book of tarot here. Just be one moment. Swords. They're deep cards. They're deep, deep meanings. And it was the 5. That's 2 5s. That's interesting too. 5 of Cups and the 5 of Swords. Okay, so the card came up reversed. Normally what the card would mean if it was upright, so you can understand the reversed, it would generally appear to indicate that we are in for, or you Virgo, are in for some disappointment or loss. The reversed 5 of Swords represents a lesser chance of defeat or an empty victory. So you have to walk away with something. For those of you that have been in a relationship for a long time, and shockingly it ended, you had no say. In some ways you won't walk away empty-handed. In some ways you will take things. I mean, you have to take something from it, especially if you've been in the relationship for many, many years. Definitely have to. I'm going to stop there, Virgo. You need to stay strong and stay focused. Keep your foot, both feet, in the reality pool of life. No matter what you're going through, I believe in that adage of it could always be worse. If I think this is bad, it could always be worse if I imagined it even for 3 seconds, and I don't want to. I'll get through this. I'll survive this. If the greatest revenge in the world is to prove them all wrong and to become a success and become happy. So if you've been slighted in that horrible way, you know, some of you will know it's coming. It's been a matter of time. So you're kind of resigned to the fact that the relationship is over. It's time to move on. The rest of you that really, there's only like 1 or 2 of you, you didn't know. Completely in the dark. You thought your life was fine. You thought they were fine. And it wasn't to be. But just know that everything happens for a reason. And hopefully down the road you'll end up in a better place than where you are right now. You need something to compare it to, is what I'm saying. Anyways, Virgo, be back in the middle of February for the mid-month readings for for you, Leo. For now, stay in the now. Enjoy the moments in the now. That's what your reality is. What's happening 2 minutes from now is still the future. Don't waste your now energy into the future. Just kind of plod through, minute by minute. Is the only way you can get through it. Otherwise, you get overwhelmed. One of my favorite sayings is when you feel like everything is just overwhelming you, and you need to do something about it. You need to make a decision. Sometimes it's that old metaphor. How do you eat a whole elephant? One bite at a time. That's what you do. Or for some people, take it in baby steps. Well, Virgo, from my heart to yours, in all sincerity, I hope to see you back here for the mid-months. And until then, goodbye, good luck, peace, love, and light. To your cup runneth over. Bye-bye.